All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the final refrain. We are here for the first match of semi-finals. I am joined by the one and only Astron. Welcome in, Astron. Good to see you.
Ooh.
Good morning to you.
What's up?
Riku in the chat here. Let us know if audio and everything is sounding good. But we've got this beautiful bracket here with lots of names crossed out, lots of really impressive names crossed out, and we're up to our last final four on the right side of the bracket here. Let's take a look at this matchup. We've got CatMarrow versus Lorenzo. This is one of our two EU meets US matches that we've got in this semifinals. And this is, I think, going to be, it's going to be a really interesting matchup. I'm really excited for it. And this is, are you currently on this team still, or is this old teammate?
No, these guys are my team.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is
So
the team now.
Future
Okay.
is got still CatMarrow, Mike Finney as well. Kind of like
Yeah.
just name dropping here.
I mean, it's super impressive. Two people from your team in the semifinals here might have a future site final match, which would be crazy.
Oh, that would be cool.
But CatMarrow has to get through Lorenzo. So first, again, CatMarrow. We've talked about these people a lot. There's so many accolades here, so much just skill represented by both of these players. Got our U.S. player in CatMarrow, and then our German player in Lorenzo 99. Neither one of them bringing the decks that their achievements are for, but the decks they brought are no slouches. So we've got Greg versus Record Keeper. And sorry, you can't really see Record Keeper, but we were just talking about this before we went live. So what do you think about this matchup?
I think that because of the double red line rotation, it's going to make it very difficult for Greg. However, Greg does have a mimicry and a double multi-dimensional rescue. So just like it has been in a couple of the other matches with Redline or with key cards, I feel like mimicry is going to be a deciding factor. If it comes early enough in a game, then it'll be difficult. Or maybe not. Maybe I don't know enough about Lorenzo's deck, but I think that will definitely be a defining card, especially with the Rebel combo.
Yeah, it should be definitely be kind of a chess match of when those red lines are played and if when the mimicry gets played. I think there's some other really interesting cards in Lorenzo's deck. We can see the Key Frog there, which
Mm,
even if you've just played red line last turn, like you still get the chance to just sneak past some of that amber control. Again, CatMarrow's deck not having a lot of amber control outside of that mimicry. So I
exactly.
think I think it's going to be a really cool match. I'm really interested to see. I'm assuming both of these players have been practicing this. So let's take a closer look at the decks and then we will
Practicing?
jump in.
What?
I think the players are ready. So really quick. We've got Greg. Um, Not our traditional GR deck that we've seen a lot of. There's no key abduction, there's no winds of death, but it has the rule of six from hand Mars combo, which is just filthy. It can clear a board, it gets tons of amber, it goes crazy. And then the Star Alliance with the double MDR, and then you've also got the Gravid Cycle and the Nepenthe Seed, so that's tons of recursion there. A lot of that's looking at the Mimicry as a target to just get all kinds of value. Ugly Bug,
Cameras
CatMarrow's
cooked.
cooked. I don't think so. I think this is going to be a really close match either way. And then Lorenzo's deck Record Keeper. So like we were saying, double red line, double against all flags. Like it's just it doesn't really care too much about the tokens. We've seen this deck a couple times where it has the Skyborn token. Can't remember the name of it. Aerialist maybe, but I mean that's fine for building a little bit of a board. But there's so much value in the cards you're seeing here. Fang
The
Tooth
deck
as
is so
well.
quick.
Yeah, 31 expected amber, but also so much amber control. 21 amber control in this
Yeah,
day
well,
especially is just crazy.
double
Um,
against all flags, double twin lamps, safe port,
the
red lines,
Desania
rotations.
though, I don't remember. I
Doesn't do anything.
doesn't do anything in this matchup. Yeah,
No.
so that's actually kind of interesting. I think he's had to like really be careful when he's playing that or what he's tokenizing up till now, but now he'll actually almost have more freedom to just play cards out as he has them. Let me get to our players quick and
I think there's a proliferator, but I don't think CatMarrow will focus on proliferator when you've got Desania. Like, it just seems silly.
let's see. All right, I don't know. Okay, we've got Lorenzo, we've got CatMarrow, waiting for them to make a lobby for us. So what's your prediction of who's gonna win this? Did you predict in the Discord?
Yeah. My prediction. I have to predict CatMarrow because it's my teammate. But what do I actually think will happen? I think it'll be 2-1. I think that CatMarrow will. I think Lorenzo will win game one. CatMarrow will adjust and win game two. But then in game three, um, I don't think that Greg has the consistency without the mimicry in this matchup, and I think that, um, yeah, I think Lorenzo will take the third game.
What? Yeah, I think it's gonna be 2-1 for sure, and I think has CatMarrow. There's been a lot more 2-1s on this side of the bracket. I feel I don't remember if that was mostly CatMarrow's side or not, but
That's because it's all anti-GR versus non-GR, so there's not really been any matchups that have been like actually favorable. So maybe one or two, but for the most part, it's just been yeah, a lot of just like this is an anti-GR deck in a lot of ways. The deck that Catmare is playing is an anti-GR deck. The one that
mm,
I was playing was an anti-GR deck. We saw all those Amber Skies decks that like to play against GR, and it's just interesting to see.
all right, we've got our players uh, ready to go, so we're gonna hop over to the game and get this started. Okay, so we've got CatMarrow at the top, Lorenzo at the bottom. Looks like Lorenzo will be going first. Not sure it matters a whole lot in this matchup, except Lorenzo doesn't have much board control. So I
Mm,
think getting an early board presence will be big to try and slow down the Mars. Because the thing with the Mars is if Lorenzo doesn't have the right board control at the right time, CatMarrow can just keep using that turn over turn to just keep forcing out answers until there's none left, right? So I think that will also
right.
be an interesting piece of this matchup.
I'll be interested to see if Catmare actually just tries to push through one of the red lines to try to get through cards, and then um, uses the mimicry as for the second red line because Lorenzo is always favored as long as he has two red lines, but one red line is much different because you only need mimicry at that point.
Yeah,
And so I wonder if Catmare is somebody who will just push through the red line first. It'll be a bit risky, well, quite risky,
it's
but
it's really tricky, especially with the two against all flags too. You basically, in order to push through it with as little damage as possible, you have to go to 8 almost every time, right? You can't just go to 7.
yeah, well, even then, it might
Ooh,
have to go to 9 if there's a what's the other card? The twin lamps.
there's
Like if you
yeah
have
the twin
against all
lamps.
flags and the twin lamps.
It's just hard to forge past this deck without going pretty high or risking the uh, red line. But we do have the Nepenthe Seed coming down fast there for CatMarrow. That'll be really big again for that Mimic Recycling. Cauldron gets a Nature's Call under it for Lorenzo. And they
Both
both
Eddies
Eddies.
early. Ooh.
I mean, there's no archive hate though, so those are that's got to expect that that's some amber control from Skyborn.
What I like about this though is that that efficiency just kind of gets you set up for those red lines and the against all flags.
Yeah.
The
And
logo is set up in the right way so that there's houses on each side of the battle line.
there's no artifact control in either of these decks either, right?
It's crazy to think about. We used to
So,
think that artifact control was necessary in every Archon deck once
well, I
upon a
mean,
time.
the mimicry serves as that if your opponent has it, right? But um this cauldron I think is going to go crazy. That's going to be so much extra value for Lorenzo having that from turn 1. The Till the Earth will also be interesting. I think we said maybe this was in our recap, but that Till the Earth probably never gets played in this matchup, right?
Yep. Yep, definitely. No way have I played that card. So we see Brain Dart, Dr. X, Shrink Ray. Maybe we see one of the Rebels.
There's no damage pips, right? So that Shrink Ray is usually getting played instead of the scrap effect.
Oh, no. No rebels.
No rebels, but again, there's not much creature control on Lorenzo's side, so you're
No,
almost priced into fighting this
that's
doctor
true.
off. Except what does
Especially
charisma
since
do?
the Nature's Call's on the first card under Cauldron.
Yeah. And right now, unnatural selection doesn't do anything to this board. So you're really looking for like that's mostly it. It's got the skulking saboteurs if you can get them out.
Is there a... Did you say there was a
There's no Fangtooth, is
Fangtooth? Or was that
there?
the other
For some
side?
reason, I thought there was a Fangtooth, but
I think it's because Greg has a Fangtooth. Yeah, it does.
oh, okay. Ooh, so do you play that in this matchup? I think you
It's
probably
really
do.
nice to play it with the
Yeah.
Rebels, especially you finish the combo, you put Rebels back in the discard pile, and you can get it back with all
So,
the recursion.
so we get another
Wait,
Untamed card under the
there is artifact
Cauldron.
control. What are you talking about? There's a Mollymawk.
I'm so unprepared for this matchup. I'm sorry, everyone. I was
I've been gaslit.
well. It's not the artifact control that can be mimicry though, which is maybe what
That
I
is
was looking
true,
for.
which
No,
is actually really
I
good.
just totally missed that. So that's pretty big. Getting rid of the doctor and the seed here is a really big turn. That was off the wild wormhole too. So actually, really
Mm.
nice handcrafting stuff happening from Lorenzo's deck. Just that all of the untamed stuff is getting thrown under these random effects on other turns, right? So like you're just keeping that out of your draw, but still getting them on the board.
Is it crazy that it's turn 3 and there's only 2 Amber between players?
uh, yes. Ooh, multi-dimensional rescue already.
I guess that Nepenthe seed as well. All 3 cards they grabbed. CatMarrow grabbed.
So, man, that's really tough because the Cauldron is playing the Nature's Call next turn, so that Mollymawk can just come right back down and hit the Nepenthe seed.
Mm. See, so do you? My play here is I call Untamed, and then I also bring back both Edeyes, even if I'm not going to play them this turn, to then use them next turn.
Yeah, I think. Well, you can bring back one of them. Oh no, that's only after Reap, so you can't. You're gonna have to fight with the Charisma this turn, but you're probably fine just fighting that into like Retro Technician Lee. Yeah, I think that's a great call. You're also gonna get the Amber Spine down, which will be nasty if the Mars doesn't have like the zip. If there's any rebels though,
Right. There is a lot in Lorenzo's deck that counters what Greg can do.
especially with the current board state, I think this is already kind of a rough spot for CatMarrow. Lorenzo's taking time on it
Yeah.
though, so I wonder if he goes as a Logos but still pops the Cauldron here and just plans to do the Mollymawk next turn because there's nothing in the discard, right? Like,
Right.
what are you
Right.
gonna get with an Append Seed right now that would
That's
actually be
true.
useful?
What does Aerialist even do? While your yellow key is forged, Aerialist gains after Reap, capture 1.
It's so
Wait,
bad.
isn't there a Geistload one that just says capture 1?
Yeah, but it's action. This one's after Reap.
Uh,
Uh,
okay, so it's
does
Susi and Untamed.
oh, and we see the Key Frog. Can you get to check here? Uh, I
Damn,
see
World Tree is nice.
5. Does that survive? Oh, the survival has an Amber and a Pip, so that gets archived. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be nasty. I don't know if there's a way to kill the Key Frog unless you play your unnatural here, but
The thing is, Lorenzo has like another really good token to change deck.
aside from this one,
Yeah,
wonderful.
he has like an alpha gamma one that if you don't have archive hate, you pretty much can't beat it because it's got like 3 or 4 eyes
Oh
that
gosh,
just keep coming back.
yeah. So there's the unnatural selection under the Cauldron. What?
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I I mean it's a key,
Wow.
right?
No, because the Ember. Oh yeah, Nature's Call first.
You bounce back the Mollymawk and both Eddies. That gets you to
Yeah.
5, and then the unnatural has an Amber on it, so you kill the Key Frog and get the key. Oh,
Oh,
he
he brought
does
back
the
Key
Key
Frog
Frog
though.
first.
Hmm. Unsure about that.
Yeah. I destroys the Titan Guardian for some extra draw, but I think you can kill the Key Frog there for a key.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not like at risk of Amber Control getting
Doesn't.
mimicry, but Unnatural Selection hitting this board is not great. Does get rid of the Nepenthe Seed though, which again is big, and then did choose to fight the Charisma into that Shrink Ray just to get more
See,
Mars
but
off the board.
why would you do the key frog like this if there's a Doctor X zip combo?
Yeah,
There's a
leaving that
chance
out there with
that
Zip is risky. Is the right word for it.
there,
Interesting.
yeah,
Oh, there's
yeah,
the
and there's a
Zip.
rebel. Oh,
Oh,
that was risky.
oh man. Yeah, I think he got away with one there. That was
I guess if you take Amber Spine first, and then you take Key Frog, right?
well. I mean, even with Rebel there, let's see. Yeah, you because you can rule of 6 with Rebel there, and then on the last Zip activation, you just take the Key Frog instead. But you want to kill the Eddies, or at least pull the Eddies too.
That brain
Man,
dart though was clever. I like that brain dart.
yeah, that does a lot of work here. Because again, the unnatural selection and nature's call are gone now, so you basically have to fight this board as Lorenzo.
Oh, and you can't get off both the Zip and the Doctor X
Um, that is
with
probably true.
because you only got 3 creatures.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there? Am I missing any? Since I missed the artifact control, it's possible I missed some other creature control, but like I'm not seeing anything. I don't think there's damage pips.
Group Think Tank, but that's not going to do anything. Wow. You
Yeah, I
almost
mean,
have to kill your Key Frog on the fight into Doctor X, even if it's not going to give you the key.
you got the world tree down now, so you don't really mind that too much because you can get it back later.
That's true. Yeah.
But I still think it should be in the discard already. But we'll see. He might have had things I was missing on why he did that. Let's see. He went last turn was untamed, right? So he probably. I mean, we haven't seen a Skyborn turn yet, but Skyborn's not dealing with this border at all. And you have to kill the Doctor, because otherwise it just brings Zip back anyways.
Mm.
Monomot can kill the Proliferator. Yeah, that Brain Dart actually was huge here.
My thoughts. Um, Killing. You need to fight with Untamed or Logos, and you need to kill the Doctor X and the Proliferator.
Yeah. Let's see. If you go Logos, you lose an Eddie. The other two can stay alive.
Well,
I'm
you don't
going.
have to lose an Eddie.
Um.
You can fight them both into the Doctor X and
Oh yeah,
just go
and just two
damage onto the
damage.
other one.
Yeah. Untamed, same thing. You can just leave 2 damage on Amber Spine. Goes for Untamed. Moose card from Archive there, so I
The
mean we know.
Survivalist.
Yeah, Survival of the Fittest, but that means whatever else those Eddies archived is now.
No, Survival of the Richest, but yeah.
Why is he on a 13 card hand though?
Because he's drew like 2 cards with the Key Frog and 1 with the Survivalist last turn.
And the
And he didn't
Titan
draw any
Guardian.
Untamed.
Drew 2 as well when he blew that up. Okay, so it does kill off the Key Frog.
I was thinking that was the line that he needed to take. Wait.
what? What are we doing? Why do we
Why?
keep giving that back to him? Or to CatMarrow? So it's a cool combo because the Survival of the Richest. Oh, didn't even get the Survival of the Richest archive there. But you can World Tree the Key Frog, Survival of the Richest to draw it, and then get the
Mm.
key frog draw
I
and
still
amber
don't
again.
understand this line of putting Key Frog. Like, it's just a free. If there's any pips in Mars right now, or even a Rebel, like,
Yeah,
because
it's
there's
a
no
free it's a free
archives
key,
anymore, it's a free key.
especially now that you've taken your
He's
archives. Yeah. So,
like,
hmm.
I understand wanting the amber in the draw, but there's nothing like that's just okay. I guess that didn't work out. Scout Pete.
I mean,
Yeah,
CatMarrow has done what, like 2 or 3 Mars turns already, so the odds of her having more
that's
Mars to
true.
go back into there are pretty low. But still, all like you said, all it takes is one rebel, and that's just a key.
Yeah,
Scout Pete. Looks like a tough decision.
but
Does
he's made
discard the
this
grabber
mistake
jammer.
twice, and I wonder if he will keep making it.
Not fighting into the amber spine there either. So that's some extra amber for Lorenzo.
Yeah.
But Lee will be able to bring back. Honestly, the grabber jammer might be better at this point, just because it's so hard for Lorenzo to kill.
But if he
Although,
goes if she
yeah,
goes Doctor X
Doctor.
again, it forces the fighting.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, that into the warp.
I
Where did that
mean,
hit? That
did you
hit
know it
a
was
untamed
there?
on her. It hit a untamed on her side too, because it was a Skyborn on Lorenzo's side, which would have done nothing.
Yeah, so there's massive chance of that happening.
Uh, yeah,
During
that's
his
pretty bad.
turn. Oh, plays through red line saying, "Hey, buddy, I have a mimicry."
I have mimicry, but also you have no more creature control to deal with my Zip Doctor. So even if you redline me here, I just go
Oh,
right back in.
that's clever. Well done. I like that.
This is, I mean, it's clever, but it's also a little bit lucky hitting the Untamed card on the Into the Warp, right? But I
There's
mean,
actually no way to stop
you
the
take
Doctor
it.
X stuff now.
Yeah, this is a rough spot for Lorenzo. The only thing is you can't mimicry in Mars, right? So you're either going to redline back or you're going to burst with Mars. You can't do both as CatMarrow.
Sure, but I think you just burst, and then you just hold that mimicry. You only need to mimicry the last key if you have both mimicry and multi-dimensional rescue.
Okay, we do see Skyborn Call, Cauldron getting a more Untamed. So many
Oh,
Untamed
so he
cards going
does
into
the
the
red
back.
line,
Yeah.
and the other red line.
Is he
Is he
going to
going to
flip?
redraw?
Both against all flags. I mean, if he flips the deck here, this is more Amber than CatMarrow can deal with, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Just twin lamps. There's
7.
no
Make a
way you flip the
token,
deck here. Unless you have a draw pip.
which was on and against all flags. Skulking needs 2 more cards. Another skulking, 1 more
Uh,
card.
ah,
Safe port and redraw. There we
holy
go.
cow. Crazy.
Ah, Star Alliance here.
I mean, that's going to be real tough for CatMarrow to come back from now. And the other thing is Lorenzo's got the massing at midnight under the cauldron now. So if you just get back to that situation, you can just massing at midnight to turn the rest of your deck into tokens and flip it again. Like that being able to mill cards using tokenization is so good with that card.
That's probably why he was. I still think the Key Frog was a misplay, but everything else was perfect.
I mean, it's just a very different line than anything, yeah, I would think to
Sabotage Mission was
do.
nice though.
But again, I'm assuming Lorenzo's been practicing this matchup, so maybe that's just something he's found is really good, helpful, just to that the draw is more important. Um, so Grabber Jammer
Yeah,
does
but
come
the
down.
thing is not tonight is that they did contribute to this, but if there was a rebel that one turn, it wouldn't have been hit by red. Catmarrow wouldn't have been hit by the red line at all because it would have been a key. Because Zip's just going to take it and then forge. So yes, the draws made sense, but also you can't really say they can't have played through the Doctor X Zip stuff for the Key Frog.
It was a risk for like
Yeah,
something that you and I would maybe say was more risky than what we would do. Maybe
it
we could
was a
say it that way.
gamble. Um, because like saying like one thing to do that we can say is that well, they played a lot of Mars. They probably didn't have a rebel, but they didn't need just a rebel. They also could have had a board wipe, not board wipe, an amber pip as well.
The only
Um,
Amber Pips are the Brain Darts, and both of those have been played.
well,
I think he was
not
actually
when
looking.
that was played.
Was the
Was played
second
one at that time.
one?
It was because it was brought back from the multi.
Oh, okay.
So yes, the draws did contribute, but I still think that was highly risky when his opponent has a zip on their board.
Key cost is.
Because yeah, they wouldn't be this much amber. There would be no stealing. There would be no amber to steal.
Oh no, Lorenzo has not forged the red key, so these skulking saboteurs do not get to just reap and kill stuff. This set. Or just that house, Skyborn house, is so silly. Like, why can't it just be reap? Choose one if you have like a key forged or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, always forge red first if you got two skulking
Well, yellow
saboteurs.
in this matchup because of the safe port, but then red next.
Is it one safe port or two?
Yeah, this
One.
one
Well, I
still.
mean, with all the elusive that the Mars has, though, like,
Yeah, but like I'm
yeah,
not gonna forge my key based on skulking saboteurs over safe port.
no, but you're gonna kill the zip and the doctor with him. Like right now,
That's
he's
true.
having to
You
fight
can,
twice to break the elusives, versus just being able to reap.
yeah.
Yeah. But again, in this situation, I mean, going back into Skyborn here means he's not really dealing with the board much besides those fights. Does get rid of the Doctor, but again, if we get another Doctor Rebel, then this Mars is still rule of sixing. But that means he's not drawing anything, right? Like, oh, we are going to Cauldron
Well,
here.
there's a twin lamp as well,
Yeah.
but also yeah, there's also the aerialist with yellow key as well. I think yellow key is the first
Mm,
key I forge in this matchup, but then red second.
yeah, I forgot about that. That was
Because
yellow.
the aerialist then just plays towards red line, whereas the Gensel flags don't really play against red line.
Yeah. Really, we can just say blue is not something you care about in this
Yeah,
matchup.
blue lost. Blue is wrong.
But also, like, my muscle memory for clicking those is awful. I have a woe deck with like the Red Baron. I still never click red key with that deck. Like it's awful. Okay, CatMarrow does go into Mars here. I think that's the only call you can really do to stop the key. Unless you fight some of these aerialists and hope you can mimicry something that was under them.
Okay, so we got to grab a gemma. Do we see a rebel here or not? Probably not enough. You need both rebels here, or maybe a rebel and a brain dart to take them off check. There's one.
Can you, let's see. Yeah, because you can't just take like an Eddie or something because you don't have any archives. Kills the other skulking.
Hmm. Oh, an abductomatic.
Mm, sneaky
There we
scrap
go.
effects.
Oh, now we're stuck in this red line place.
Yeah.
So this is the gamble of do I have it? Do I not?
I mean, you can stop the key with the aerialist, right?
Oh,
You
right.
just
Of
reap five
course. Don't
times,
worry.
six, seven
Yeah.
times. Fight off a
That's
grabber
true.
jammer. Yeah.
I
That
forgot about the
man, that's
aerialist.
crazy. Yeah, that actually is so good in this deck, right? It's kind of like what's the other one? The Wrangler, where you can just force them over seven if you have that with red lines. Also
Yep.
very
That's
good.
why, yeah. Definitely. Aerialist is my choice of yellow key first.
All right, there's all the reaps, all the captures. Cauldron
Don't
gets
have the
the
red line.
unnatural selection, which means that's also safe from getting mimicried. Did any airless die? We see a charisma, so that's what was under one of the air lists, which is not what CatMarrow wanted to see. Is there creature control in Untamed? Oh, Amber Storm,
No.
I guess.
Oh yeah, Amberstorm.
So you could Amber Storm a couple of the aerialists and then just hope. Ooh, just goes for the concede. So probably hadn't
There
even
we go.
found the mimicry. Okay,
Well,
I'm
I
getting
did
the
say Lorenzo
logs.
was going to win game one.
You did? So, I mean, that was a very interesting match, right? Not what I
I
expected
still
from
think the
this
match was
matchup.
probably closer than it looked.
Yeah,
Like I know CatMarrow didn't get any keys, but I feel like if she can get through that key, she's in a really good spot because of
I feel like this is
things
kind
she
of what we
has.
saw from her. Was that last round where I think game one, yeah, against Holy Stew, game one, Holy Stew's deck just went crazy. Hers didn't do anything. Game two was kind of fair, and then game three, Greg just went nuts. So maybe a little bit of draw dependency there, but
Definitely, yeah. That's Greg's probably biggest weakness is that it can win it. It can do things on turn one, turn two, or it could do things on turn seven.
right, it's way more consistent the further into the game you get because of the recursion, but you have to get those cards milled, which just takes time.
Oh,
Um,
Mulligan first is bad though when you're going
yeah,
second.
Lorenzo's still
But she
deciding, I
chose to go
think.
second.
Yeah,
She keeps doing it. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, with the chance of just having Rebel Zip Doctor, like I'd probably try to go second in this matchup.
Yeah. And you also, I guess, have the more response cards that help you set things up. Like the I don't know, board wipes and whatnot. I don't know. Yeah. The Doctor X stuff I can see.
Already a misclick? Come on, Lorenzo. Just started. Ooh, goes untamed. Is this going to be amassing at midnight? Oh, the Cauldron again. Oh, man. That's such a good card to have turn one. And, like, well, it's actually an interesting card in this matchup because if you get, like, red line under it and you know you can't flip, you have to be careful when you actually fire it.
Or your creature control like last time.
Yeah.
Oh, multi-dimensional rescue
Oh,
already.
no. Nothing milled off of the Peats, though. Oh,
Well, she
this time it is.
mills. No, yeah. That's right.
Wait, was there? No.
No.
Oh, because she didn't want to get the Flume back. So saw it, decided to MDR first.
Well, no, she had a sabotage mission with the drop hit. She played that to get the card that was on top of the
Oh,
deck.
gotcha. Okay. Also makes sense. Getting a doctor down right away. I mean, this is a big board, so this is again what we were saying, like having this
It's
board
loser
early.
chooses who goes first. Loser of
Yeah.
the previous match game.
So
What a
either,
start.
yeah, either Lorenzo wins this and it's over, or CatMarrow wins and then Lorenzo gets to choose game three. But yeah, having this Starlines board early is going to be really nice. Very different from last game.
Yeah. Every chance to mill is what allows Greg to do its thing.
But also the doctor for some added pressure. Hmm.
Do you think there's an unnatural selection in hand?
It's got to be so tempting if there is. It's just so tough when there's two doctors. Just kill one, let the other one sit there. So Wild
Pull the
Wormhole goes under
logos.
Cauldron. That's fun. Ooh, Nova Dynamo. Second wild wormhole for twin lamps.
Man, with token making and wild wormholes and only a limited C, this is a risky deck.
It is, but he's gotten pretty far with it, so
He's such a good pilot. Even though some people don't like me using the word pilot for using a deck.
listen, I don't mind. Especially when their token is aerialists. This is all about
Oh,
like
true.
this is all pilots. It's fine. I do
I
feel
love
like
Keyforge lore.
the lore of the cards or the lore of the players. Like
I
we're
was
getting a
just
bit of
thinking
both
about
here.
like a wild wormhole brought a ship which brought an aerialist. That's just kind of cool.
That is fun. I will say that I don't think Lorenzo's deck usually makes a ton of tokens unless he has like the Nature's Call to bounce him back again or something.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't really much last game either. It's just they had the massive Midnight May 3 and they already had one.
Yeah, but that was after flipping the deck, I guess. Yeah. So we do see the Till the Earth getting discarded. Amber Storm will take out the Aerialist,
Ooh.
which is the Nature's Call.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. Because that's not the worst mimicry target if you have to. Rento does discard Goalless Artificer off of that Novu Dynamo, so getting some Amber there, also meaning he's probably not going into Logos this turn. Which makes sense because you need to get rid of that Doctor, I think, at this point. It was, I guess, only 3 cards played from CatMarrow's hand. Yeah, it goes into Untamed. We get Desania under the Cauldron. There's the unnatural selection. So I'll probably take out the Doctor and then this Scout Pete. Ooh,
No,
does not take out the
apparently not.
Scout. Oh, and
Takes
that's
a
the
Palic.
only card. Oh yeah, Palic, I guess, is Amber Control, but you're not getting to check that turn anyways, so I guess the Palic has
Interesting.
versatile, so it's just value every turn.
We must have a bunch of against all flags or something in hand that it's just things you can wait on.
All right, Scout Pete's firing off here. Gonna discard a Fangtooth Cavern. Ah, that's so interesting. So I wonder, like, I mean, after the last game, Fangtooth Cavern probably is killing your Doctor more than you want it to until Lorenzo does a big, like, token gen turn or, like, your Retro Technicians.
What's the creature control left? Is that it?
For Lorenzo,
Yep.
yeah, there's nothing. Kind of like last game, both the Nature's Call and the Unnatural Selection are gone. But we do see
Wow.
the Into the Warp is also gone. Did not kill the Novu Dynamo there. Oh, didn't play it, just discarded it. Because there's a good chance of killing your own Starline stuff. Actually, new.
No, it wasn't. But I think I would have played it.
Let's see.
Because it's just an extra card to discard. Because unless you don't know what it is.
All right, because the Perimeter Alarm was discarded off of the second Pete, right? So,
Hmm.
I mean, after discarding 2, well, yeah, that's a tough call. But,
I mean, it's more like a risk of, well, do I have my Doctor combo in hand and what am I missing? Do I
well, you had
risk?
the Lee, so if you play it first and then play the Lee comes down ready, which actually gets you to check and get your Doctor back,
True.
right? Am I missing something there?
True. No, that is the truth. Unless the piece it's missing is a rebel.
Yeah, I guess if you don't want to you're really scared of discarding anything off the top, but we do get Skyborn Call here and Cauldron popping. This was one of the safest Cauldrons Lorenzo's deck can have. Even with the Wild Wormhole, it just hits a Chandler Nook, which is just like one of the best things he can hit. Because now his board is harder to kill. He's got the Skulking Saboteurs. It'll be really interesting to see what he actually, what key he forges first here. Oh man, huge hand, but not. I guess the safe port was under the. Cauldron.
It now makes sense why the unnatural selection wasn't played, or
Yep.
was played earlier with all these creatures.
And just the against all flags going up to 11. There's still no red line in the discard.
Man, what a fast deck.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And this is, I think,
Untamed.
a really bad situation again for CatMarrow. Gnarled Gibbous, I mean, like, doesn't have amazing targets here. Killing the Skulking Saboteurs is probably fine just to, yeah, make sure there's a little bit less creature or artifact control from the Skulking, but yeah, there's the Nepenthe Seed. Not getting to
Hmm.
check, not stopping Lorenzo's key. I think Lorenzo can just kind of go crazy at this point. Just
I think he doesn't need the red lines to win this game.
it's kind of feeling that way. We do get Titan Guardian getting discarded off of the Novu, going up to 12. Still not much untamed in the discard, so I would expect he's got a decent amount of that in hand.
Which key getting forged? Yellow for the aerialists, and
I
you're making a bunch of tokens, or
think
yeah.
making tokens at this point is still a little bit scary, but
Well, if you know you have a red line in hand and you're able to use a massing midnight here,
got to update my score. Sorry, everyone.
I didn't do it a single time.
I need to get
Ooh,
like a stream deck so I can just like hit the buttons and make stuff happen. Oh, and he's got the Molly Mock. Oh my gosh,
so good.
it's brutal. And the Amber Spine being protected by the taunt now. This is tough. This is really tough for CatMarrow. She still got War of
It's
the
not
Worlds.
terrible if you have the Doctor X stuff with the zip because you can take the Ember Spine before it triggers.
Yeah.
There you go. Discards the Key Frog this time.
I mean, I kind of feel like that's just disrespectful at this point. He put so much faith in it last time. We do get the Mars call now.
Okay.
There's the War of the Worlds. All right, so that's the first piece needed. There's a Doctor. There's a Zip. And Proliferator,
Oh,
no
no
Rebel.
Rebel.
So
We
no
haven't seen a
check.
single Rebel these games.
Lorenzo gets key 2 here. Does get that red key. So he learned from last game. That's great.
What do you do here, though? Just against all flags? Twin Lamp? Try to get a check?
So like the the things you're scared of in Mars right now, if you have your red lines, you basically just don't want the uh grabber jammer, right? Because that's the one that's gonna make it hard to forge that last key. So like
Hmm.
there's an argument for just tossing cards, let CatMarrow go
Yeah.
wild with the Mars and then steal it.
Not playing creatures.
I guess you do need to flip the deck before you or be ready to flip the deck when you play the red lines. Because we still haven't seen the mimicry, right?
Right.
And only one MDR.
We also haven't seen Ed Eyes yet.
Ooh. What do we have left for Lorenzo's deck? Both red lines, another against all flags. One more twin lamps.
Interesting, interesting.
Red twin lamps.
Untamed.
I don't know. Gets another untamed card under it. Man, these cauldron hits have been incredible. Fog bank feels like it might
Oh,
not
just stop
be.
fighting. Right.
Yeah. I feel like that's not
I was,
super relevant, but it's an amber.
I was so confused for a second. I'm like, what does this card do again?
Yeah, I agree. Not tonight. I don't think this has been exactly what CatMarrow wants to see. Like we've had what, one Rebel played between both of these games so far total.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the
And it
same
was
Rebel
like
was
when
played
it
like
didn't matter
twice.
anyway.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, now my thoughts are if you can play enough cards to still be okay with getting hit by. Oh, wait up. Let me think about this for a second.
Hmm.
Because of Massacre Midnight getting played here,
I don't.
there's
I mean,
nothing that CatMarrow can do to stop the red line in the reshuffle.
and you can't just go to check because the aerialists stop it or the second against all flags.
So she can't go too high.
I mean, unless both of these aerialists are red lines, but I don't think you do that play if you don't have at least one red
I
line.
think he has one. Yeah.
And the Amber
He's
Storm is
perfectly
gone,
navigated the mimicry.
so you can't just kill one of those hoping it's red line. Yeah, this is brutal. Do get the Mars call here from CatMarrow. Just gonna at least do board control, get some archives going. You do know that the Sania is gone, so I mean, even 2 cards in archives with the proliferator isn't bad. Do we know what's in the archives right now? I'd have to look back for CatMarrow. I don't remember what that is. Oh, the Werewolf Curse. That archives itself after fight. Okay, double Brain Dart.
Hmm. I wonder if. I wonder if she forgot the red line. Not red line. She forgot the no fighting.
Mm, that would be
And that's
crazy if
like.
that was relevant here.
And the only reason that it's protected by mimicry is because the rebel stuff haven't turned up.
Yeah. So it goes to 8, does go to 9. Plays a Rebel.
Lorenzo,
Plays second
does she
Doctor.
feel she has enough control here? Is that what's happened?
I mean,
To steal past 6 or 7?
again, you have 1, maybe 2 uses of Grabber Jammer, so that'll stop a key at 8 or 9.
And the
No, 8,
Abductomatic.
and then the Abductomatic. So Lorenzo only has to go because both Brain Darts are gone. So Lorenzo only has to go to 11,
Yeah,
which
because the red line gives you
one red line
1
gets you
plus the 7, so 8 amber, so
uh
9. Yeah.
6 here. But I mean, you fight the
Well, the
aerialist
pip.
into something.
You get
Yeah,
the pip. Oh, the pip, the aerialist. Yeah, of
yeah.
course.
So that's a steal
She
seven.
steals
Red
7,
line
gain
goes. Yeah,
1.
I don't think Mars can stop this here, right? And that's down to 4 in hand, so we're gonna draw through. So you can't mimicry. Crazy.
Man, imagine it's just crazy to see this kind of game where mimicry has not been able to hit because of the redraw.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 games in a row.
Yeah, but GR can be fun. I like GR sometimes.
I appreciate both yours and CatMarrow's GR decks. I I think they're better representations of what the set should have been. We get the Starlines call. I guess what would it be? Double. Well, Sabotage Mission's already been played, so you can only replay it once here, right?
Mm.
There's the MDR. What can Lee get back? Uh, not
Okay,
nothing that's stopping a key, unless you can.
sabotage mission. So that's currently +2.
Lee can get back a 4 power, right? What's power?
If you play,
Yeah.
ah, there
Ooh,
we go.
there's a concede. Man, well, I don't know how like how close to representative those games are of this matchup, except that I think Lorenzo played around the mimicry so well. Like,
I think, yeah, I think if Rebel had come like even a turn earlier, I think CatMarrow has the stuff to do that game, but unfortunately, when you have not enough efficiency, these games do happen. Even if they have happened previously with other matches, they just didn't happen for these ones, and that just happens.
yeah, yeah, I definitely some
And
rough
to say
rough
that
luck on
CatMarrow was
Catman's side.
cooked is a bit disrespectful of CatMarrow's ability.
That Catmarrow was what?
Someone saying CatMarrow is cooked
Oh,
is a bit disrespectful of CatMarrow's ability.
I mean, yeah, any player that was even invited to this, much less getting to the semifinals, like Catmarrow's played incredibly here. Uh, yeah, just didn't go our way this time with those draws. But also, again, I think I don't know. It'd be interesting to ask Lorenzo about the Key Frog plays. Uh,
No, yeah, well, it didn't matter in the end. He won, so
yeah, it
that's what
worked.
he deserves. That he played well. He's made it all this way, beaten some top players all along the way, beaten some really tough decks as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
except for the
not
first round,
just
right?
tough players. Yeah, yeah. Except for the first round, that Riku guy. I don't know. He's a fraud. Um,
No, we love you, Riku.
that
But
was
so now we've got our first finalist
our
going against
first
another GR deck, either
finalist.
uh Vodka or
Wow,
Bandola. What do you think
interesting.
about this deck into those?
I think it's really good into uh, Nimrod or Pastoras. I think it's really strong into that deck. I think that Spendola is one of the most versatile decks I have
Yeah.
ever had the experience of playing against. And it's just getting beat by it in team matchups every single time is maybe I have a bit of bias, but that deck is just absurd.
Yeah, it is. And like Mike Fooney has been putting in so much work for this tournament too. Like he wants to win. So we'll see what
And
happens. But yeah,
yeah,
I think especially with what we saw from the creature control side of Lorenzo's deck, like you just can't deal with the untamed or the unfathomable in Bandola, right? Like kind of like we've already seen that deck do against the other like Wadka decks. It just
but even then, I don't even think like we can call Pastoras a Vodka deck because I think Vodka's the secondary game plan. I think the main game plan is still the Rebel stuff, and then the key
yeah.
abduction is just more of a combo extender than actual the combo itself.
Well, yes, against this deck though, the key abduction is super important, right?
Yeah, I think in these sort of games, uh, I'm not sure what of the decks that are remaining has anything into the Brio cap lockout
Yeah.
because like Lorenzo's deck doesn't have any creature control, and none of that creature control is going to be none of that creature control is going to be creatures or non-actions, and the
Yeah.
same thing with Nimrod. Nimrod doesn't have anything either. So that is one of the game plans in Bendola that allows it to keep doing its untamed things because of that other game plan. It's scary.
Yeah. It is scary. But Lorenzo's deck also very scary,
Yeah, no,
as
for
we saw
sure.
here. That's terrifying. But all right. Well, that is semifinal one in the books. Yeah. Next game is going to be tomorrow, like in 16 hours ish.
Yeah,
Maybe a
well,
little bit
I'm
more than
gonna be
that.
asleep, but
17.
I'll be
Yeah.
excited to see what happens in the morning.
I'll miss it too. And then I think I'll be hosting the uh, wrap up tomorrow. We'll see.
Nice.
Somebody will do that, but we'll go over these two matches and then the finals. But Astron, thanks so much for hopping on. This was super fun. I'm really sad this didn't go to game three because I love watching both these players, and this is still a
Mm.
very interesting matchup. But
It's like a chess game, though. To be
yeah,
fair, I feel like a chess game.
do you not like chess games?
No, as in
Oh,
like just lots. I love chess games. Like as in like it was
okay.
just a lot of
Couldn't tell if that was
very slow, not slow, but like thought out individual lines,
yeah.
and I liked it.
Yeah, it was really good stuff.
Loved it.
Huge congrats to both of these players for making it this far again. Some great games, and Lorenzo, good luck in the finals. But I
Yeah,
think
good
we're
luck.
gonna call it there. Thank you everyone who hopped on to watch, and anyone who's watching the YouTube. Thanks for supporting, and we'll see you next time on the final refrain. Take care.
Bye.